Okay, guys, while I'm taking care of my wife today, taking her to the doctor, I need you to remember every day now we're getting ready for this final. And yesterday I introduced you to a little bit of IM3 dealing with rational expressions. But remember, the most important part, if you're an IM2, is to make sure you're focusing on the importance of the factoring. Okay? But of course, if you're an IM3, it's not just the factoring, but to follow through and be able to simplify these rational expressions. Let's get going. So here was problem 6 from yesterday. And when you see this right here, you guys should know that's the X method. And I notice here I have a negative 15 for my product. And in the middle is my sum of positive 2. And I know that 3 times 5 is 15. To get this positive 2, I need to do 5 minus 3, right? So I know my numerator is going to be v minus 3 times with v plus 5. V minus 3 times v plus 5. Now, let's look at the denominator. Again, you should recognize that's the X method again. And this time I need a product of 25 with a sum of 10. And 5 times 5 is 25. And 5 plus 5 is 10. So my denominator is going to be a v plus 5 times another v plus 5. Again, that 5 means v plus 5 and then another v plus 5. And so that's the factoring part that I want to make sure we're practicing. Notice, though, I can cancel v plus 5 out. Now, there's only one v plus 5. Don't cancel out both of them down here. I'm going to cancel out this v plus 5 with this v plus 5. So that leaves me this as my answer. So my final result is v minus 3 over v plus 5. All right, let's do another one. Now, in this one, you should recognize this right here is also the X method. This time I need a negative 21 with a minus 4 in the middle, negative 4 in the middle, right? And 3 times 7 is 21. To get negative 4, I need to do plus 3 minus 7. Again, 3 minus 7 is negative 4. So what do I have so far as x plus 3, x minus 7. Now, if we look at the denominator here, you should know that that's a GCF, and I'm going to divide by 3. I hope you guys agree. I could divide 3 into 3. I could divide 3 into 9, so my GCF is 3. So 3 over 3 is going to give me 1x plus 9 divided by 3 is 3. We have a times here. Now let's factor this here. You should know that's another X method. This time I need a 12 with a minus 7 for my sum. Now if I tried 2 times 6, 12, do you agree that's not 7? That's why I need to do 3 times 4, 12. Now to get negative 7, I need to make them both negative. So what do I have now? I have a negative 3, so that's x minus 3. And negative 4 tells me x minus 4 for my factors. My denominator right here is an x minus 3. Now that I have everything factored, because that's what you do first, by the way. Just like here, I factored everything first, then I simplify. Here I have everything factored. Well, just remember, guys, as long as I take anything in the top numerator and match it up exactly with anything in the denominator, okay, they will cancel each other out. So, for example, I know that this x minus 3 cancels out this x minus 3. I know that this x plus 3 cancels out with this x plus 3. So my final result is going to be x minus 7, x minus 4 over 3. Again, x minus 7, x minus 4 over 3. That's the only thing left over. And there is my factored answer. Now, on the back of the worksheet, I want to remind you to solve quadratics, you also could use factoring. And that's what I'm going to do on this one. In my next video, I'm going to show you both factoring as well as quadratic formula to solve a quadratic. So you can compare the two. Okay? But anyways, long story short, the first thing I must do on this one is plus 5. Why? Because I need the right side there to become a 0. And 5 minus 5 is, in fact, 0. So on my left, I have p squared minus 2p. 5 and minus 20 is minus 15. Now, at this point, guys, you could do the quadratic formula. Okay? But let me show you in this case how much simpler factoring can be. If I do the X method, I know I have a negative 15 for my product, a minus 2 for my sum. I know that 3 times 5 is 15. To get this negative, I need to do plus 3 minus 5, right? So the 3 tells me p plus 3. The negative 5 tells me p minus 5. Together, those factors will make a 0, right? Don't forget it's equal to 0. You can't solve it until it's equal to 0, right? Make sure it equals 0 to begin with. Now what? Well, if you look right here, negative 3 plus 3 would make it 0 here, wouldn't it? Again, negative 3 plus this 3 would make 0. So I know negative 3 is one of my roots, or x-intercepts, or zeros. What about here? 5 minus 5 would make it 0. Again, 5 minus this 5 would make it 0. So my roots, my two answers are negative 3 and positive 5. And so that's how you solve with factoring. You factor it and you set each factor to 0 and solve it. Okay? I hope this helps you. Again, I'll see you tomorrow in class as we continue our preparation for the final in 2 weeks. Okay, guys? Finals in 2 weeks. See you tomorrow.